What's going on, New York Yankees fans? Welcome back to another video. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or video drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. There's nothing really to talk about. I mean, there is a football game on, but that's just really not my concern right now. Even though, the rival Cowboys play the Bucks, and that's NFC East stuff. But that's not really why I want to make this quick. I mean, why would you guys want to listen to me sit and ramble on about the fucking Yankees? And, they're doing the same crap. Obviously, you guys heard my Monday rant. Tuesday, I actually didn't watch much of. I mean, there was really no reason to. Wednesday, and then today, which is Thursday, this will probably be out on Friday morning. It's Yankee baseball, and it's not Yankee baseball. They're playing as the Yankees, but they're more like the Tankies, as I said on Monday. Everybody's at fault. The energy's not there. There's no motivation. Everybody's trying to collect a paycheck. And, people are still on Twitter defending Aaron Boone. I mean, I don't honestly know why. I don't know how. But, let the people on Twitter and everywhere else just live in the fantasy. Well, he got us 2 seasons over 100 wins. Yeah, well, let's see. That was, 2 years ago? What does that do for us right now? It's resume, but that's for his future job if he ever gets one. We'll see what happens. But I'm not going to go too far into radical ideas or anything like that because it's so frustrating to talk about and then talk about the same thing over and over again. But let's go over chronologically day by day, and then maybe we'll recap at the end and do stuff like that. Once again, I apologize if I seem non-energetic, but, how can you be energetic when this team screws up time and time again? And that's it. So, let's go to the first game. That was on Labor Day. It was a 1 o'clock game. Marcus Semien and Vlad Guerrero hit back-to-back jacks. He destroyed us this series. Actually, both of them did. Guerrero hit like 3 home runs in 4 games. Marcus Semien probably same thing. And if not, he hit RBIs and all this other stuff. The small ball that the Yankees don't do. But the Yankees got no hits within the first 2 innings, which, they got 5 hits all game and committed 2 errors. Lourdes Gurriel singles in the 7th. And Teoscar Hernandez scores. It's 3-0. Then, the top 4 of the Yankees lineup, as I mentioned to you guys, I think it was Monday on the video, they only got 1 hit and a total of 15 at-bats with a total of 7 strikeouts. I mean, that's the top of your lineup. Your bottom half is not going to be much better. And we were talking, early in the season, bottom of the lineup is so garbage, blah, blah, blah. But if you round out the averages, the bottom of the lineup probably, is about even with the top of the lineup. I mean, at this point it was, on Monday, because you had LeMahieu, you had Gallo, you had Judge, you had Stanton, and we were talking about, Judge and, all these other guys, whatever. But Gallo, obviously, once again, as I mentioned, I didn't like trading for him. And at this point, now, I obviously have to check to see what his average is now. He's hitting 196. I mean, the analytics geeks will come out here and say, oh, well, he gets walks, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, he has to, pitchers are throwing more inside of the plate. I don't care. I've played the game before. Whether I'm a fucking right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter, I don't care. You adjust, and then you hit the ball. It doesn't need to be explaining these nuanced analytical formats. You're just trying to make yourself seem smarter than everybody else, but you're a geek and you've never played the game. So I don't understand, just the mentality of some people. But gets even worse, as I said on Monday. Teoscar Hernandez extends the Blue Jays lead with a home run. And then Marcus Semien, grand slam after multiple Krisky walks. Krisky was horrible in that game, giving up a total of 3 walks. I'm pretty sure that was before the grand slam. He gave up 3 hits as well, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, as I mentioned. Not much else to say for the Yankees. They were over 1 with runners in scoring position today. They couldn't even do that. And they left 3 guys on base. So, not anything much to talk about, though. One person I'll credit a little bit is Brett Gardner. He was on and off this series. I mean, he made a good play in this game. It was a diving play in center, and they threw back to second. But, there was people trying to discredit him, and I understand, the man hasn't performed all year. But give credit when credit's due, please. Like, it's a part of that Yankee crew that's like, we're on the train to the World Series. Then when they lose one freaking game, it's, the season's over. How about you make up your mind? You know, Brett Gardner, he ain't the best hitter on this team. That's for shit sure. But you know what? At least give him the credit when credit's due. I don't care if Judge would have made that standing up, sitting down on the toilet. I don't care. Brett Gardner made a play, and let's acknowledge it. So anyway, we go into the second game, and I'm probably just going to have to recap this off of chronological events and stuff like that, as I usually do. But anyway, Alejandro Kirk homers to right field in the top of the second, 1-0. Anthony Rizzo singles. Opposite field, Andrew Velazquez scores. Lourdes Gurriel in the fourth inning hits a sac fly. Teoscar Hernandez scores 2-1, and then Reese McGuire, another sac fly. Alejandro Kirk scores, so that's 3-1. That's the basic small ball. Yeah, you can call it small ball. It's still getting runs in and still getting runners to advance. Marcus Semien mentioned this a couple of seconds ago, actually. Homered again, 4-1, and then 5-1 with an Alejandro Kirk home run, second of the game. And Alejandro Kirk, I believe, is their backup catcher. So the fact that we're giving home runs to their backup catcher, I don't know if it's him or if it's Danny Jansen that's the backup catcher. I don't know. I really don't care. But, giving 2 home runs up in the game is not great. And also, we couldn't score jack shit off of Steven Matz. He pitched a total of 6 innings, 7 hits, and only 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. So, obviously there. Garrett Cole left the game with, I think, a hamstring injury. Hopefully it's not too serious, but we'll talk about playoffs and stuff at the end because that's going to be a part of a bigger picture. In terms of strikeouts, Voit didn't strike out. Judge didn't strike out. Velazquez didn't strike out. But Urshela and Gardner struck out twice each, but Gardner also had 2 hits. Urshela really hasn't been doing anything. 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, 6 left on base. A stolen base by Andrew Velazquez. Albert Abreu gave up an earned run with 2 walks. He's never been the same ever since that one appearance. I think it was in Tampa Bay where he gave up all those runs. Hasn't been the same since. Andrew Heaney actually, I think, got a 1-2-3 inning in the 9th inning, so shout-outs to him. He did not do that today, though. Clay Holmes actually gave up, I think it was a run. Yeah, he gave up a run. That was the Alejandro Kirk home run, 2 strikeouts, and Joely Rodriguez came in before that, 1.2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts. So, that's the second game. That's the second loss. We're halfway there. That being said, we go to the third game where the Yankees finally listen to the fans. And I'm not saying they have to 24/7, but they called up Luis Gil. He was not so good. I was keeping track on that and a couple of other things, but he was not good. His command was off. His control was just off. He was getting saved repeatedly by bad swings. But on another note, Joey Gallo and DJ LeMahieu were moved down to the 5 and 6 spots, which honestly doesn't make a lot of sense. Like maybe Gallo, but LeMahieu's not down there. It's either he's the top of the lineup or he's not. And I'm not saying, making excuses and whatever, but I'm just not, I don't know, I'm not a fan of that because you can never hit consistently if it's up and down in the lineup, But Brett Gardner was bumped to the leadoff hitting spot, and he did deserve it. He went 1 for 5, but he also saved the Yankees with a 3-run shot in the 5th inning. Gil got out of the first after 2 walks to Semien Guerrero, but Hernandez flew out, and then I think it was another strikeout. Gil got out of the third in terms of a jam, and then he walked 3 to load the bases. And then after that, when Lucas Lidge came in, Sanchez missed a wild pitch, and Lourdes Gurriel scored, so it was 1-0 from there. So I'm pretty sure all of those runs that occurred in the 4th inning were all of his, meaning Luis Gil's. I know it's Hill, Gil, whatever. I apologize. 3.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, 3 earned runs, 7 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Keep the strikeouts, lower the walks. He kind of looked like Davy Garcia there, and that's not something we want to see out of Gil. Hill, once again, I'm mispronouncing it, but that's not something you want to see out of him, knowing that your starter and your bullpen depth is not so great after all. With that being said, Marcus Semien singles, 2-run score. He was thrown out at second, so great throw by Joey Gallo on the bounce. Brett Gardner ties the game with 3-run shot. I already mentioned that. Teoscar Hernandez hits a go-ahead RBI single in the 7th. Clay Holmes gave that up. After that, Jake Lamb hit a sac fly, the former Diamondbacks third baseman. his sac fly. Judge made a nice throw to the plate, but Gerard Dyson was just in there. 5-3. Then Aroldis Chapman doing Aroldis Chapman things, having his quota and giving up a home run to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Matt Blake was ejected by Edwin Moscoso. This was just frustration. I mean, there was a couple of bad pitches that he missed, meaning Edwin Moscoso. But it's not like, oh my God, he cost us the game. It's not that. The Yankees cost themselves the game. They cost themselves the series, and they may actually cost themselves a wild card depending on the way they keep playing. But the Yankees 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, 7 left on base. You move towards the fourth game. With that being said, you go here. Nestor Cortes versus Jose Barrios. Bo Bichette launches one to deep left field in the first inning. I think it was a hanging breaking ball to Bo Bichette, which is something Nestor Cortes has actually struggled on in the last couple of starts, giving a home run on the breaking pitches, especially the hanging ones. Despite the home run, Nestor Cortes has actually done a lot of good in the times he's given up runs and stuff like that. He's been able to come out of jams. We saw that in the Kansas City game. We saw that in this game as well. He worked his way out of a jam. Though Marcus Semien singled and Teoscar Hernandez doubled, Vladimir Guerrero struck out, Alejandro Kirk flew out, and then Lourdes Gurriel struck out. Nestor Cortes also went through the second inning in a 1-2-3 fashion. And then Randall Grichuk, another possible Yankee killer who actually made his first start in this game. I'm surprised he didn't really get much all series. 2-0, home run, fifth inning. Then Anthony Rizzo in the sixth inning launches one to the bleachers in right field. Good for him. I mean, he's been struggling as of late, but you got to give credit where credit is due. So it was 2-2 there. Sal Romano relieves Nestor Cortes. Danny Jansen doubles. Jake Lamb hit by pitch. Bo Bichette singles. Blue Jays retake the lead 3-2. Then it only gets worse from there. Wandy Peralta replaces Sal Romano. Teoscar Hernandez and Alejandro Kirk walk. Lourdes Gurriel reaches on a fielder's choice. Danny Jansen walks in a run, 4-2. Then, eighth inning. Judge, LeMahieu single. They get, they get Judge out at second on the fielder's choice. Rizzo takes first, though. And then Giancarlo Stanton. There was a play tonight, Thursday night, just in reference for people not knowing that I'm recording this on the Thursday night. But there was a play. People say, Stanton avoid the slide. He was not running. He deserved to be out. He was jogging around the bases like it was a home run, and then when he realized that there was going to be a throw coming in from left field, he shit his pants and then slid and he was out. So, I can't give credit to people who don't try. And he has his moments where he doesn't try. I'm not going to be soft on that. With that being said, grounded out and do a double play in the eighth. Andrew Heaney comes on in the ninth. Gives up an opposite field long ball to Vlad Guerrero. So that's got to be the third, fourth home run this series for Vlad Guerrero Jr. Breivik Valero doubles to center. Teoscar Hernandez scores some first on the throw home. I think it was Valero who made it to third. But Tyler Wade's in center field. And I don't know why. I would rather kept Gardner out there because Tyler Wade, he's an infielder. And I understand, he has some versatility in the outfield. He doesn't have an arm. Typically, if you're putting an infielder in the outfielder, it's not going to work in certain occasions because, the arm strength. Just kind of makes sense there, With that being said, Gary Sanchez and Luke Voit hit back-to-back home runs, but the Yankees fell short in the ninth inning. 6-4, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Tyler Wade did commit an error. With that being said, let's take a look at the wild card standings. Let's take a look at the division standings. Division has been done for a while now, but the Yankees are in third place. They're about 10 games back. Red Sox are 9. The Blue Jays are 10.5. Now, what you'll see is, oh my God, they're half game back. Are they actually in that in the wild card as well? Yes, they are, because the Yankees dropped to that second game, or I should say second spot, whatever. Boston is in first, leading by 1. And then Toronto, they're half a game back. So if the Yankees lose tomorrow and Toronto wins, let's see who they're playing. We're playing the Mets. They play the Orioles in Baltimore. So if they keep up their winning streak, hey, that's no longer ours. And you know what? The Yankees deserve it. I want the Yankees to make the playoffs. As I always said, I always root for team success. But we can't be having this where it's no baseball, nobody gives a flying rat's ass about, the fans and just winning. It's all about themselves. It's all about, statistics and stuff like that. Well, if some of these players are actually playing like that, well, there's one sport that I definitely know of where you're going for individual stats and not on a team, and that's tennis. So, I'm just really sick and tired of the way this team is playing, but the Yankees, this has been them most of the season. And the Giants play on Sunday, so I can't really be too stressed out about that. And you know what? The Yankees better win 2 out of 3 this weekend. Not for playoffs, but just the emotional part, because obviously we know 9/11, all that stuff. But they better at least win one game this week. And if they don't, then you know what? They just don't care at all. And it's all at Citi Field. It's not at Yankee Stadium, so we'll see what happens. But basically the same thoughts as the other day. Aaron Boone, Brian Cashman not getting bullpen help. And to the fact that we have to get Sal Romano and some of these other guys up, Brooks Kriske, Albert Abreu, the fact you're relying on these guys tells you what state the bullpen is in. And, Brian Cashman should have thought to himself, hey, listen, we got to trade some of these guys to go get bullpen help in the long term. Or at least to help us make a postseason appearance. But obviously, money's in his mind. And, the same could be said for Steinbrenner. But if you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops video drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. For my Giants viewers, check out the last podcast episode with Paul Dottino. Also as well, Saturday morning, I know it's a little weird kind of thing, but Saturday morning, do expect a podcast episode out. Big Blue in the Bronx podcast, going to be basically previewing, the Giants-Broncos game. We'll see what happens over the weekend in terms of content. I'll definitely be putting some videos out there. Peace out. See you later. Stay cool.